order.
This conference will now be recorded.
At this time, I'd like to call the special committee of the whole meeting to order. Let the record reflect. It is Tuesday, June 9th, 2020 at 7:27 p.m. We started late because of a tornado warning. So no, we didn't start late to hurt our public comment person's feelings. Do you want to give a little update, Pat, for everyone that got the warning on their phones?
Yes.
So Steve knows why we started late?
Sure, yeah, we went into a tornado warning and we ended up activating the sirens probably about 20 minutes ago or so, based on confirmed spotters of rotation over the Frankfurt area moving toward Tinley Park. So we set off our tornado sirens just to let everybody know if the tornado sirens do go off around in the relatively short time period, it's not an all clear. It is another sighting of a potential tornado. So there is no all clear siren that's set off to let it know that it's safe out. So anytime those sirens are set off other than the testing, that means that there is potential for a tornado.
Okay, thanks, Pat. This meeting is being conducted pursuant to the Governor Pritzker's executive orders suspending certain requirements of the Open Meetings Act due to the COVID-19 pandemic. When you are not speaking, please remember to mute your phones. All the materials for the meeting are available on the village website, and we recommend the members and the public follow the agenda as posted. After members have spoken, I will afford public comment as follows. The public was provided the opportunity to submit comments until noon today by emailing their public comments to clerk's office at tinleypark.org or by placing their written comment in the drop box at the village hall. The public was also provided the opportunity to submit a request until noon today to the clerk's office at tinleypark.org or by placing their written request in the drop box at the village hall to participate publicly via a live telephone call at the relevant portion of the public meeting. Finally, each vote taken in this meeting will be conducted by a roll call vote. Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Trustee Berg.
Here.
Trustee Brady.
Here.
Trustee Brennan.
Present.
Trustee Galante.
Here.
Trustee Glotz.
Present.
Trustee Mueller.
Here.
President Vandenberg.
Here.
Thank you. Item 2, consider adopting temporary public participation rules and procedures for this agenda. I'll make a motion, or Pat, you want to take this? Or who's taking this one?
To make the motion, or
No.
want to explain it first?
Yeah, should we go over it?
Sure.
So that's crystal clear for Steve?
Sure. So these temporary public participation rules were obviously drafted to mirror the governor's executive orders, which suspended certain aspects of the Open Meetings Act. If you recall, I think these were prepared a few weeks ago, and then there was a meeting cancellation. So, things are, as we all know, things are changing, almost by the day or sometimes by the hour in response to the COVID pandemic. We wanted to make sure that the meetings we conducted, in accordance with the governor's rules, there were a written set of procedures for the public to follow that went along with those. The state legislature did pass a bill, a Senate bill that's waiting the governor's approval, which would more clearly identify what the open meetings procedures should be when there's an emergency declaration made by the governor. So, but that is not law yet. Once the governor signs that, that will supersede his order, and we'll have a more clear set of laws. But this is our response to the governor's orders, and to try to make sure that we have written procedures that mirrored what the meetings were going to be like with the telephonic participation and whatnot. So that's what these are before you tonight.
Thank you, Pat. Welcome back.
Good to be back. Thank you.
Anyone have any questions? I'll make a motion to adopt the temporary public participation rules and procedures for the agenda that Patrick Conley just read to us. I have a second?
I'll second that motion.
Thanks. Madam Clerk?
This is Trustee Galante.
Thanks, Diane. Madam Clerk, you please call the roll?
Trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 3, consider approval of the minutes of the Special Committee of the Whole held on May 19, 2020. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the Special Committee of the Whole meeting held on May 19th, 2020. I have a second.
I'll second the motion.
Trustee Berg, I'll second.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item 4, discuss Odyssey Fun World on premises liquor sales. Kevin, could you give us some background on this?
Yes, Trustee Glatz, thank you. So on June 2nd of this year, the mayor's office received a request from Nick Halikias in which he inquired if he was able to provide food, beer, and wine service to Odyssey Fun World from Sweet Spot Sports Bar, which is another establishment operated by the requester. Additionally, he also requested that if the Sweet Spot could not provide food, liquor to Odyssey Fun World, if he would be able to receive a 60-day special event permit for Odyssey Fun World. Staff reached out to the village attorney for guidance on the matter, to which the village attorney advised that the request cannot be permitted due to Sweet Spot lacking a state caterer specialty retailer license. Additionally, the 60-day special event permit is not allowed per our ordinance. Our ordinance only allows for a maximum of 15 days for a special event permit. I would also like to mention that Odyssey Fun World currently has an active Class E liquor license that was issued to the village back in November of 2002. However, they are not currently utilizing the village liquor license at this location because they currently lack a valid state issued liquor license. It was my understanding, with speaking with Nick earlier or last week, that the Liquor Control Commission denied Odyssey Fun World their liquor license due to issues that arose after they transitioned from a limited partnership to an LLC. Staff advised Odyssey that the best course of action is to correct the issue with the State Liquor Control Commission. Subsequently, the mayor's office received paperwork from Odyssey Fun World notifying the village of the change of the corporate structure. Upon review, the mayor, in his role of liquor commissioner, expressed concerns regarding how the amusement park plans to manage the sale of alcoholic liquor at the location and requested that this item be brought to the COW for discussion. I believe at this time we do have either Nick or Robert standing by to answer any questions that you guys may have at this time.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Robert Sherrill. I'm a manager of Odyssey Fun World, LLC. And also on the call is Clint Paraday, who is the general manager of the Odyssey Fun World facility in Tinley Park. We're pleased to be here today. Want to express our appreciation for the assistance staff has given us in updating our license. We operated for many years under as a structure of a limited partnership named Odyssey Fun World Limited Partnership. About 3 years ago, we converted to a limited liability company named Odyssey Fun World LLC. The entity didn't change, only the form of the entity changed. Through our oversight, we never asked the village to correct the name on our liquor license. And this year, the Illinois Liquor Control Commission brought it to our attention that we had the wrong name. So we're delighted to be working with you to get that part corrected and then have the state be in a position to issue to the correct name. And we're also happy to answer any questions you have about operationally how we plan to handle the beer and wine service.
Would anyone care to ask any questions?
Mr. Chairman.
Go ahead, Jake.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Sherrill, and thank you, Odyssey, for being a part of the call this evening. My only concern with it, and I'm glad that we were able to get the paperwork in order, my only concern would be that the outdoor entertainment area at Odyssey does provide, to my understanding, a go-kart track of some sort. I am familiar with the business down the street in Mokena, known as Accelerated, which also operates a go-kart track. I'm interested to hear what what your operational plan would be to minimize consumption of alcoholic beverages while operating any type of motor vehicle like a go-kart or any type of, whether it be gasoline or battery operated. I'd like to hear what it is that you would do operationally to control limiting consumption.
Sure. So I'll turn this over to Clint in a second. I just indicated all of our customers in the outdoor area are issued wristbands, and they show those wristbands in order to use the various attractions. And we have a system in place, which Clinton will describe, whereby we keep track of consumption of alcoholic beverages, so that we can limit participants from some of the transactions where impairment would be a concern. Clint, why don't you go into more detail about that?
How you doing, everybody? Clint Faraday here from Odyssey Fun World. Basically, what we have in place is, anytime a drink would be distributed to a customer, they probably would get a mark on the wristband, and after the second mark, our employees would then know not to know that this customer is not allowed to go on our go-karts. And I do want to let you all know that our go-karts are nothing like Accelerates. I mean, Accelerates go anywhere between like 40 to 50 miles an hour. Ours are more like in the 15 to 17 mile an hour range. But either way, there is a marking system that's in place that we could track very, very easily to know when our employees should not let a customer on their attraction.
All right, thank you for clarifying that. I would just ask that if we were to, if the board were to consider this and eventually be passed, that we make that type of operational procedure that you just described part of the requirements for the liquor license, so that it's not something that we just do in passing, but actually, procedurally.
That's perfectly agreeable.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That's all I have.
Sorry, Jake. Mr. Chair, may I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
In addition to kind of the marking system, I know that works very well at Accelerate. Accelerate kind of went in with this plan of serving alcohol along with the go-karts. Was there some training that your staff was going to be provided to ensure that they know the signs of impairment and then they're ready and able to handle those types of situations?
Most definitely. I
Clint.
mean, yeah, most definitely. When this is all, if this is allowed by the village, we would definitely be going over some major training through our entire staff, our management, and supervisors, to be able to know the signs of inebriation and things like that nature.
Perfect. Thank you.
Counselor Conley, they would be required to have BASIT certification, correct?
Yes.
Great.
So I had a question for you, Jake. By any chance, have you checked or discussed with the Illinois Liquor Control Commission chairman? We have Cindy Berg as the Illinois State Liquor Commissioner. Maybe she could give some insight or recommendations or input to you, maybe?
To answer your question, no, I have not spoken with the State of Illinois Liquor Commission, and I don't believe this would be the proper venue to discuss state and village business. The petitioners did provide the village with the proper documentation notifying us that there has been a proper change with the State of Illinois regarding the organization, and I do feel comfortable in the fact that they are above board as it relates to the state as well as the village.
Great. Thanks, Jake. Anyone else? So,
I don't think there's any action.
yeah, there's no action, just discuss. Okay. All right, if there's no one else, we'll move to item 5.
All right. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate your support.
Thank you, Clint. Thank you, Robert.
Thank you.
Item number 5, discuss Class E liquor license for Bandanas Barbecue at 16200 Harlem Avenue. Kevin, do you want to take this one?
Yes, Trustee Glotz, thank you. So as many of you know, Bandanas Barbecue purchased the former 4,245 square foot Applebee's building located at 16200 Harlem Avenue in December of 2019. The restaurant chain is family owned and operated and currently has 28 locations throughout the Midwest. The restaurant is planning to open its location in Tinley Park by August of this year. At least that was as of a couple weeks ago when I spoke to Rick. Rick White, Bandana CEO, contacted the mayor's office in March of this year requesting a Class E liquor license for the restaurant. The Class E license allows for the retail sale of beer and wine for consumption on premise and is restricted to sales made in conjunction with the petitioner's operation of a restaurant. Again, this license does not permit video gaming on premise. If the ordinance is approved by the village board, the number of Class E liquor licenses in the village will be increased by 1, bringing the total number of Class E liquor licenses in the village to 6. I believe Mr. White is standing by if you guys have any questions for him.
Anyone from the board like to ask Mr. White a question?
I didn't have a question, Trustee Glotz, but I'm excited about this vacant property being filled and looking forward to the barbecue there.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you. We look forward to serving you.
Yeah, thanks, Mr. White, for coming to Tinley Park. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
On that note, I will make a motion to move an ordinance increasing the number of Class E liquor licenses that can be issued in the village. Bandanas Barbecue located at 16200 Harlem Avenue to the village board for approval. Do I have a second?
I'll second that motion.
Thank you, Trustee Mueller. Madam Clerk, can you call the roll?
Trustee Berg. Trustee Berg. Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Glotz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. White.
Thank you. We look forward to getting open and seeing everyone there.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Item number 6, discuss video gaming license request for 350 Brewing Company at 7144 183rd Street. Kevin, you're up again, bud.
Sure. Thanks, Trustee Glatz. So 350 Brewing Company is a 2,800 square foot tap room located at 7144 West 183rd Street, which offers patrons a unique house brewed beers along with a food menu. 350 has been located in Tinley Park for nearly 6 years and is currently in good standing with the village. On February 7th of this year, Mr. Ramzi Hassan contacted the mayor's office requesting a AV liquor license to permit the use of video gaming terminals within the location. This establishment currently holds a Class A and a Class O. The Class O is for the microbrewery component of it. Within the request, Mr. Hassan stated that if approved, he would like to reconfigure the current party room for video gaming. He also stated that once reconfigured, the room will provide a private and welcoming atmosphere for patrons interested in using the video gaming terminals. If the proposed ordinance is approved, it will decrease the current number of Class A licenses to 19 and increase the number of Class AV licenses in the village to 14. You should all have a set of, looks like architectural plans or floor plans submitted in the packet, which kind of shows the party room location within the establishment. It does appear to be a private location or a private area within the tap room. I believe Mr. Hassan is standing by at this time if you guys wish to ask him any questions regarding his request.
Sure. Anyone from the board care to ask Mr. Hassan any questions?
Yeah, this is, I'd like to ask a question, Mr. Chairman.
Go ahead, Bill.
The private party room is near the back by the bathrooms right now. Is there a remodel going on here, and will the video gaming terminals be enclosed?
Hi, this is Ramzi Hassan. Pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me. The party room is currently sectioned off with like a fence-like material. There wouldn't be a full remodel of any sort. The bathrooms are across from that room. There is separation there.
Okay, because the drawing that we're looking at, it looks like there's more tables than from what I've seen in the past. So, would you be willing to close that off so that it wouldn't be, viewable to any families? 'Cause you have a bunch of tables there in front of that chain link fence.
Yeah, we also do hang things like either signage or banners, so there's some separation where you can't always see inside, but I don't think we would be opposed to figuring out some sort of separation.
Yeah, that's generally what we've done in the past with prior establishments, just closing off the video gaming section. What was it, a 8-foot wall?
Yep.
Eight with eight.
Was it 7? Hey, Hannah or Kevin, do you guys remember? Was it 7 or 8 feet?
7.
7. Thank you.
Would you guys be willing to enclose the video gaming with like a 7-foot wall for the gaming terminals?
So yeah, where the terminals are inside, within the room, there is a plan to put up a barrier. I wasn't sure of the exact height. I know one of the video gaming operators that we're working with had several recommendations, and obviously we want to make it classy and have some kind of custom barrier. I know we weren't talking about 7 feet within the room, but that's all up for discussion.
I mean, generally what we've done in the past is always, we've always had some sort of drawing or something. I know, I understand we have the blueprint here of the layout, but and I have an understanding of the business. I've been in there, to eat several times and drink, and it's a excellent addition to Tinley Park, and I think that this would be suitable for that space. With no video gaming going on right now, would you guys be able to get us a drawing of your plans before we approve this? Would everyone be okay with that, so we can see what we're looking at before? I mean, there's no video gaming going on right now. I'd just like to see a visual of, instead of just the layout, where these are actually going to go, and then have them enclosed into a space, just away from, so families can't see it, whatnot.
Yeah, and it's my understanding once we have the video gaming, that we would like that to be an option, like an entertainment option for our patrons, but we don't necessarily, like we talked about, still, if we were going to still utilize that room for private parties, we're able to shut off the games or cover them, if we have, private parties that, need to utilize that, and, we don't want to have the gaming going on. So we like having that as an option. But not necessarily, on all the time. It would be on as appropriate. But yes, can we, get a drawing together? I can work with our operator to provide something, certainly.
Okay. Would that be suitable to everyone else? Is that sound reasonable?
Sounds good. I'd agree.
Just, Mr. Hassan,
Yep.
Trustee Glatz, just to echo what Bill's been saying, since for over a year now, probably, all gaming that have been coming to the board, they've been asked to put up a 7-foot wall so it's not visible. So if no one discussed that with you, I apologize, but that's kind of something what the board has been doing over the last year.
We can do that separation. I think we can work within, the structure that we have there now to make a separation of 7 feet. I don't see that being a problem.
Great, thank you. Trustee Berg, do you have any questions for him? Is she on?
No comment.
Trustee Mueller?
No, I think this is a good establishment for video gaming. So, I'll go with the advice of Bill and the other bills with the 7 feet wall. And if we get that mapped out, I've got no problem with this.
Trustee Galante?
I feel the same. I agree. I think it should just be standard now. Like you said, what would get kind of have in place, we should just make that the standard. And then it makes it easy, because I agree. I think this would be a great fit there and for them to help them out. So I agree with what you all have been saying.
Thanks, Diane. Bill, is there anything else you want to add?
No, just waiting to see that drawing then.
Okay. So then we'll just, Pat, you want to just put this back on the cow once Mr. Hassan's had an opportunity to put that together real quick? Okay. So then,
Mr. Chairman?
yes, sir.
So I think, I heard everyone loud and clear on that. I remember, a little less than a year ago when we had the conversation about gaming, the board has the opportunity to amend the current ordinance relating to the AV license and the parameters that you want to set forth. So if this is going to be consistent moving forward regarding video gaming and a barrier of 7 feet, I would request that the board consider amending the ordinance as written to include that the barrier be a 7-foot solid wall, so that this doesn't really interfere with moving forward, because I know that you said that that's been conversation, but that never was codified. And, petitioners come in every day, and that's not what our code says. So, they want to see what they could do first, and then they're told, no, we want to do it. So it would just make it easier, I think, for everyone, the petitioner, including the liquor commissioner's office, is if the board were to consider amending the ordinance to clearly identify the 7-foot wall or barrier or whatever, however you want to word it, is required in order to consider moving forward with the liquor and gaming request. So I just put that out there to the table so that you could consider that moving forward.
Thanks, Jake. Yeah, it's been that way for 13 months, so we just, like you said, you guys, the liquor commissioner's office speaks to them, so we just figured you would, but, okay. So,
You'll consider putting that on an agenda or amending that then? If I put the wording together, would the board consider that?
Yep, you're the liquor commissioner, yes.
Fine.
Mr. Hassan, does that, so we all on the same page?
I'm sorry, I was getting some feedback.
That's okay.
Can you repeat that?
So are we all on the same page? You're gonna have your terminal operator put something together for you, and then you're gonna contact Kevin and get it to him so we can get you back on the agenda?
Correct. The only question I have is when would the next meeting be? Because I'm trying to plan out eventual approval. Because I think I wouldn't even be eligible until maybe August with gaming, according to my operator.
Councilor Conley, can you answer that?
Yeah, Assistant Manager Carr brought up a good point. In the past, we've kind of allowed advancement of these pending the submission of additional plans. So with a meeting next week, I think it's a regular board meeting, or I think there's a regular board meeting. I think Pat brings up a good point. We tentatively schedule approval then, if we get all the plans and things like that, if everything comes together. If not, it'll kick back to July, but to the extent we can get everything together by then, would the board be okay considering that next Tuesday?
Yeah, we can call a 7:20 committee of the whole, or, I don't know, we may already have other things already on the agenda for it, so that's fine by me if everyone else is okay with it.
And would it even need a committee of the whole? If there's one, it sounds like there's one requirement needed, and if staff's okay with what they submit, could it go right to the board meeting? Pending that one requirement.
Well, we could just make the motion to move it to that for the next meeting pending that requirement, right? So, we can make.
Right, if that requirement is fulfilled, just to get a picture.
Correct.
Yeah.
Done.
It's a good idea.
I'm good with that.
All right, so what we can do then is, we can amend it now. We could vote on a first reading tonight, and next Tuesday, if he has it ready, we can approve it next week. If he doesn't have it ready, we can approve it at the
July meeting.
The July.
Sure. First July meeting.
How does that?
I think that works.
Does that work for you, Mr. Hassan, if we approve it now with that stipulation?
Yeah, that would be much appreciated for our timeline. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Go ahead, Mike.
Mr. Chair, just procedurally, we haven't done first readings for these.
So you wouldn't even have to do a first reading tonight. It just, if you motion it to be approved at, I'm getting the date wrong, next Tuesday's meeting, and all the paperwork comes in, it'll be on your agenda. If the paperwork doesn't come in for whatever reason, it'll just go to the next meeting. If that makes sense.
Yep, works for me. So I will make a motion to approve it and send it to the June 16th board meeting. That Mr. Hassan comes back with a drawing showing the 7-foot separation or partition wall.
I'll second that motion.
Madam Clerk, can you call the roll?
Trustee Berg. Trustee Berg. Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante. Trustee Galante. Trustee Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller. Trustee Mueller?
My Citrix disconnected, so the phone is still live, but it's reconnected on here.
Okay.
Pat, we don't have, we only have 3 votes.
Is it gonna come
And
back?
they're disconnected, it just says connecting, so.
Has this happened before? Does it just take a few minutes, or, you don't know?
Give it a minute, we'll see if it comes back.
Yeah, we can't move forward unless we
Mhm.
get everybody.
We need one more vote.
Is MT
Gotta be the weather, right?
We have to cancel the meeting.
People can't participate, we will.
So did everybody get knocked off?
Everybody.
I think so, yeah.
Mr. Hassan, you're not there, correct?
Yeah, Dave's trying to call. Hi, sorry, the internet went out.
We have no
The
backup.
internet went out, so we're trying to reconnect it.
Great
I
electronics.
don't know if you can communicate that to everyone, it's trying to come back on. All right, thank you, bye. I reconnected this. We might have to, dial out and redial it, I think. Laura, can you help me?
We can send a man to the moon.
Call back.
That reasoning was done so many times.
I know, I'm known for saying that about everything.
It's true, though.
Yeah.
So did the stream go down too?